There's a silly little phrase associated with fishing for steelhead with a swung fly that says, "The tug is the drug." For the uninitiated, it refers to the moment that one of these magical fish grabs your fly and you make that incredible connection. Sometimes this moment is like a bolt of lightning on the end of your line, but sometimes it's subtle and barely noticeable. However it happens, it truly is an addictive pursuit to the people just crazy enough to search for it on a regular basis. I'm certainly no expert in this department, but this last year sure has been fun and full of growth for me. And yeah, I totally get it. This approach to fly fishing for steelhead is like the siren song. It takes over your mind and completely draws you in. Well, winter steelhead season is coming to a close here in the Pacific Northwest, and I wanted to kind of take some time to reflect back on it. It's been a busy year for me, and last year I had made a short film called Steelhead Pursuit, which was kind of looking into my brother and I just sort of getting started into, not getting started, kind of picking it back up, and really just exploring what it was going to look like, kind of that road forward. We had done some steelhead fishing in the past, and I remember doing it years ago with single hand rods, but never really stuck with me. And then I made another YouTube video, just to some solo steelheading stuff. And in that video, I kind of explored kind of different approaches that I might take to it. And so after a year, I thought it would be really good to kind of rewind and look back on just how it's been. And it's been an interesting season, but it's been a very good season for me. And I've enjoyed it a lot. I've enjoyed learning something new, and I think that's one of my biggest takeaways from all of this is that at any age, learning something new can be very rewarding and can be very fulfilling at the same time. So let's take a look at it, and we'll see how it went. A big barrier for entry in this type of steelheading for a lot of people is learning to cast a two-handed rod, especially if you've come from casting single-hand rods in the past. Learning to not have your top hand dominate your cast is likely the most challenging part of the process. While I'm still pretty early on in the journey of becoming bottom hand dominant, I can offer up some advice. Spend some time learning from not only experienced casters, but experienced teachers. It's one thing to be able to know how to cast, but it's a whole other thing to know how to teach people to do it. It requires a rare level of patience and observation. Another approach is to film yourself casting, or have someone film you. If you spend enough time watching good casting and following the advice of a good teacher, you will start to see where you have room for improvement. The nice thing is the results are instant. One change can make a huge difference. Good casting isn't necessarily required to catch fish, but it certainly ups the odds and is validating when everything clicks. One of the things that's been a lot of fun over the past year has been to dial in the rod setup. And I mentioned this in a previous video about how I'd gotten myself this Red Truck 7136. So it's a 13-foot 6/7 weight. And it's paired up with their diesel chrome reel. This is a nice click and pawl, real loud. When there's a fish on the end of the line, it's a lot of fun. But it's also fun just stripping line off of it. Just nice and vocal reel, so to say. But the dialing in process is really more about the lines, and I'm just trying to figure out what line I like with it, and what line the rod likes as well. And the one I landed on is this Bridge Torrent. So this is a nice handmade line out of Canada. Bridge is making some really great, really great lines, and really kind of changing some things up, which I appreciate. So check them out. Check them both out. They're great if they're something you're looking to kind of add to the arsenal, or just kind of dial in something new. But it's been really fun. It's been fun to see kind of how each line kind of performs a little bit differently. And the thing that I really like about this line is that it just turns over really nice. It delivers that fly really well. So whether it's a pretty well weighted fly, or heavy sink tip, or whether it's just an unweighted fly, it really just turns over, and it gets to fishing really quickly, which I really appreciate. So, and it's a pleasure to cast, which that's pretty much the perfect combination. So I highly encourage people that if you're kind of just figuring some stuff out, just this is new to you, or you're wanting to kind of branch out, both of them are things that I recommend. But also find out what works for you. Don't always just trust some random guy on the internet. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun to do, and a lot of fun to dial in. A big highlight of the year for me was getting to shoot some video and photos for an amazing company called Travel Creel. They do pop-up fly fishing lodges all around the world and are masters in the hospitality game. Each year they spend 2 weeks on the Oregon coast, where they employ local guides to help get their clients on some winter steelhead. When not fishing, the clients are relaxing and eating some of the best food around, all locally sourced and expertly prepared and served. It was a lot of fun getting to know some of the people that not only signed up for this amazing experience, but also the crew that runs it. They work extremely hard to give everyone a memorable and curated experience, and it was an honor to try to capture a small slice of what they do. Some of the things I've been doing over the past year that are steelhead related was a lot of summer steelhead fishing, and also a lot of filming. So I'm working on a new short film just about to come out about the summer run out there on the Deschutes, and last year was such a great year, good returns, but it was nice to see. It was a little glimmer of hope, but I'm also not holding my breath over it. But now I'm starting to get into that time of year where I'm starting to think about the chapters where one chapter ends and the next one begins. So with winter steelhead season kind of coming to an end, I'm starting to think about trout fishing, and that'll kind of go over into some more summer steelhead fishing and trout fishing at the same time. So best time of year. But I feel fortunate to live where I do, where I get to get out there and do what I love as much as I do. But I did want to leave you with some of the fish that I was able to connect with over this past year, and yeah, some really special moments. And I feel blessed, and I feel pretty honored to get to know some of the people that I've gotten to know over the year, and yeah, I feel excited about next year too, and just kind of what all that means. So. I've learned that reflection can be quite helpful in this life. It gives us a chance to take stock of the good times and gather some intel on areas where we can improve. They say that anything worth doing is worth doing well, so I'm just going to keep on working on getting better and absorbing as much shared knowledge and wisdom as I can. In closing, at a time in my life where I've been experiencing not only some personal, but some professional struggles, I feel fortunate to have found an activity that takes my mind off the woes of everyday life. One where I get to be proud of the fact that the effort that I put in is starting to pay off. One where the community around it has been so welcoming and generous with their time and patience, and one where I can continue to be the best version of myself. The tug may be the drug, but everything leading up to it is pretty alright in my book. We'll see you again next time. Thanks for coming along for the journey. Cheers.